I've worked as an orthoptist in the ophthalmology department of Conegliano Hospital in northeast Italy for 21 years. For the last 13, I've been treating low vision patients with central vision loss. We treat children as young as 13. But in theory, we could also treat people up to 99 years old. Our aim is to establish the location and fixation stability of a preferred retinal locus, or PRL, a new eccentric fixation point that we train patients to use instead of the central one. To do this, I used the Macular Integrity Assessment, or Maia. Maia is great to work with. It's a patient-friendly microperimetry device that emits a series of beeps, called biofeedback, that guides a patient's gaze to where they can see better. An intermittent beep directs the patient's gaze across a retina map to a location where the retina works best. And this establishes a new PRL. The beep speeds up as the patient's gaze draws closer to the best point and becomes constant once this point has been reached. And Maia enables us to establish this point with extreme precision.
I used to work in hospital administration, and I also worked in sales, even after I retired. My hobbies were painting, embroidery, sewing and mountain walks. When I first came to the centre, I was depressed and in denial about my condition. I had lost all hope of finding a means of boosting my morale and improving my state of mind, so that I could become a little more self-sufficient. I used to read with a magnifying glass, which was completely useless, as I had to strain really hard. I could read very little, and I was always mislaying it. We began by working on the eye with the macular disorder. It was very difficult at the start, but with determination and hard work, my vision improved, and I started to recognize faces. I could make out the eyes, ears and nose. Before that, I couldn't see anything, just darkness. My quality of life has got much better. Now I take the bus and the train. It's easier to do things, and I notice a huge difference to when I used a screen magnifier. Now I'm much more optimistic. I want to get on with my life and spend time with my granddaughter.
Lights would come and go, and I had to recognize people by their voices. I could only make out faces when I concentrated really hard. Friends would say hello to me in the street, but I didn't know who they were. It was a horrible feeling. I had laser surgery on my left eye, but the long-term results were disappointing. But now I can see better. Walking down the stairs used to be really daunting, but I have no problem at all now. I can even ride a bike. My distance spectacles used to be much thicker than they are now. I had no problems with the microperimetry machine. I found the best fixation point straight away, and I have to say, the people in this centre do a great job.
Before my macular problems, I used to paint and write. I enjoyed doing creative things. All of a sudden, my life was turned upside down. I was almost completely blind. But now I'm getting better. I don't expect to see like I did when I was young, but I hope to stop my sight deteriorating and to improve my current situation. I use a magnifier to watch TV and others for reading. I'm much happier now. I hope my sight stabilizes instead of worsening, so that I can do everyday things, like making meals. My life has changed, and now I can read slowly. The key is determination. My pride keeps me going.
If my experience can help someone else, then that's great. People with low vision or similar conditions have serious problems in social situations with individuals and groups. The problem for a musician isn't playing solo, but playing with other musicians. You have to work hard to overcome barriers and find new solutions. You have to find ways of eliminating obstacles. But you also need the help of someone who understands the problem better than you. And Dr. Licata has been invaluable. He saw how I walked. It's a technique I've acquired, but a lot of people think I can see perfectly. Of course, in my own way, I can see. But it's not really seeing, because I understand my surroundings, the obstacles, and what's around me. You have to adapt. When you don't see the results, obviously you feel like giving up. And visual aids also become less efficient as time goes by. I've learned so much since I started coming here, and by talking to the doctors, I do my best to work around the problem. I've trained my eye by looking for areas where my vision is better and focusing on details. I have to do these things on my own. It's a challenge to focus on certain areas, but I'm determined to find my own way and understand exactly what's around me. It really helps. It's really disheartening not understanding where you are and what's around you. So you have to look for the details. It's the only way of understanding how to get around.